What's up, Shannon? How you doing?
Good.
What's going on?
So glad to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming. Glad to
course.
see you.
Appreciate you.
I'm like tripping on my words this morning.
And being
okay.
patient. Being patient with us. Picking out your props.
Oh, no worries.
Getting
it was
started
fun.
a little late.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the antique shop next door is so sweet.
I know, right?
It's so fun.
We're so blessed to have this antique shop.
Yeah, with all of our crazy
Yeah.
props. I think other podcasts you see, and you're like, what do they have? And it's just plain. We're like, we do something different every time.
That was the one cool thing I noticed about your podcast. You guys have, like, decoration and stuff with it and just made it more lively with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of cool to be able to pick different things. You know, we have a mandolin and
From a mandala.
a mandolin.
From a gondola.
From a gondola. So I don't know if you guys know what a mandolin is, but it's a little, I thought it was ukulele, but apparently it's not.
It's that.
It's
I
one
think
of
the
those.
ukulele's smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, but...
All right, well, welcome to the Grand Rapids Business and Entertainment Podcast. We're here with Shannon today, and Shannon is a wonderful person we met at Plugged.
No,
Plugged is
we met her on Instagram
Oh, my bad. You did meet her on Instagram.
Yep.
and then officially in person.
Officially in person at
Yep.
Plugged. So Plugged is a social cohort workspace that Carbon Stories has put together.
It's actually a really cool connection because that's what Plugged is for.
Yeah.
Is meeting people
Literally got plugged.
online.
Yep.
And then actually physically being in person.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Making use of our network here. So
Yep, all the
we're super
networking.
excited to have you on and hear
Well,
your
thank
story
you.
and hear where your journey has brought you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sweet.
I feel like you haven't struggled at all because it's all.
I know, right?
No, I
got-
definitely, I think it's one of those things too that it's sometimes harder to like talk through your struggles
Yeah.
and stuff. And I think with social media, sometimes it can be super easy to show the good things.
For sure.
And that's something that I'm always working on is being more transparent with we all life can be tough sometimes, but it's about how you work through it and how you learn through it and figuring out every moment is a learning opportunity. And sometimes you don't notice it till, years down the road that, okay, that thing I went through, that tough thing, was just really to help me learn and grow and become better at what I'm doing. But
Right.
For sure.
yeah.
Crazy
Like,
stuff.
what is
Yeah.
this life?
Really quick, I noticed. So I noticed you picked this plant over here.
Uh-huh.
And you say you like the base of it.
Yeah.
And so what is it about the base of it? Actually, I'm gonna grab it.
I just thought it was fun and unique, instead of just like a normal potted
cool.
plant. Yeah, I just thought it was
Oh, I
cool and
see.
just added a little bit of
So it's got a
flair to
textured
it.
base with like.
See, that's funny because I never
Looks
have noticed
dirty,
that
but-
plant or that
Really?
base. Yeah.
Interesting.
I've just never even thought about it.
Leave it right here. Is it black on you? It's black on
I
her
don't
face.
know. I can
All
be
right,
a
let's leave
plant.
Oh yeah, it's a
I'm
little
fine.
tall.
Just kidding.
I like plants. I like being a plant.
Nothing particular about the plant, right?
Just the
I mean, yeah, just the base was something I thought was so cool.
Cool.
But there was a few colorful ones that I found that maybe I'll grab those for next time.
There you go.
I'm definitely a big color person and stuff. I wear typically
Fair.
black, when it comes to clothes, but otherwise love color because I think it's lively and
Interesting. Yeah. I normally resort
Yeah.
to black only too. If I have to like neutral, to be neutral, then colors like I'm actually wearing blue.
You can't wear white because then white stains, and then everything
nope.
else. Like if you buy a colorful top, you gotta
her
have
white stains.
Oh,
Mine white
it's bad.
stains. It's fine.
so bad. I went to go put on a white tank today underneath like this cute shirt, and it has turmeric all over it. And
Oh
I'm
no.
like, this is fun.
Mine is that spill tea, spill shakes. Oh yeah,
True.
all of it.
Right.
True.
And then this plant. So what is this about?
I did like that one because it has a little bit of color where it's like purple. So
pretty.
I just thought that was cool. I mean, it's, a little one and stuff, but I was just like the purple and it's kind of fun.
It kind of reminds me, and take this the best way possible of your hair because it's like lively.
It's cool, actually. Yeah, it's like bouncy,
Yeah, it's
lively.
bouncy, springy.
It
it's
is,
just-
yeah. You got some that's,
curly.
really curly and some
Yeah.
that's not, and same, some are
She's
high
like,
and
"Ooh, that
low.
looks like my hair.
I love it.
That's probably why.
Cool. Has your hair always been just like super curly?
Yeah, I mean, I would say when I was younger, it was more wavy and stuff, but like through like elementary school into high school and stuff, then it just stayed super curly and
And you gotta rock
yeah.
it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Trying to straighten that every day is a headache.
Heck yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, I did the blowout of my hair last week, and so that's just like a different way to like straighten it in a way with a blow dryer, and that was amazing.
How
And
long did it
showed.
last?
It lasts just until I washed it again, so I let it last like 4 to 5 days.
You're in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to
Snow.
Florida, all that humidity.
Oh yeah, in the summer I will never do it. Oh yeah, because this already goes crazy in the summer. Oh yeah.
So typically they say curls are for the girls if you're a guy. So if you're a girl, who are the curls for?
I don't know. I haven't heard that saying.
Curls are for Kelly. Your curls can be. Everybody's curls can be for me.
That's funny, yeah, maybe. You never heard that? Curls for the girls?
I didn't hear it until I met
grew
you,
up
so
with
it's
that.
not. a
No,
thing.
that's so funny.
Yeah, my guys and I, we'd go out, we'd like curls for the girls, just get her all curly and stuff.
That's so funny.
I never rocked it. Now I do. Well,
See, my dad had really curly hair, like an afro in high school. So that's where I get my curly hair from. Is my
Dang.
dad.
That's cool.
Oh yeah,
Is
he's
he-
got you
Is he
know.
mixed with anything?
I mean, we're Polish, a little bit of Irish, and French.
Okay.
So, but
French
my
probably.
dad's side's more of the Irish, so more of the lighter skin and stuff, and we burn really easily.
I can see
But-
the reddish in your hair.
But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you have a
Tan.
red undertone.
She's like my hair.
I'm not being creepy.
Oh,
I used to
really?
do it.
I mean, I don't notice it because I obviously I don't. Yeah, I just
Right,
don't.
right.
But
I was a stylist
that's
for
interesting.
What, 10 years about?
Okay.
And now I just do men's hair,
Okay.
but I do that very, very part time. So.
Oh yeah, you were saying that this morning.
Yep.
That's
yep.
cool though.
So that's been fun.
That's awesome.
Enough about your hair. Not that it's great, but I
Well,
love
it's definitely a
curly
talking
hair.
piece sometimes.
It is.
It's cool.
It stands out, but
I had a friend that had curly hair in high school, and we would like take Arby's French fries, and we'd be like, "It's Emily's hair."
that's so
like I wish,
funny.
and then I'd be like, "I wish my hair was curly."
Okay, mine would probably be even more like that ringlet if I cut it shorter, like a Shirley Temple.
Oh,
So I remember,
that
like,
would be a
I don't
perfect Shirley
cut my
Temple.
hair too much anymore, but when I was younger, my thing was, okay, it always has to go in a ponytail because otherwise, like, that's like my length. If I at least can get it in a ponytail, that's good. Otherwise, it'll just be like Shirley Temple ringlet. Oh yeah,
That's it.
probably like up to here.
Funny.
Super cute though.
Thanks.
So you have an impressive history with work. You've been involved
You do
in-
work.
Right, you do work. So you're involved in network marketing, just to put it
Yep.
out there.
Yeah.
And I know that your approach is very different than probably most people I've met.
Yeah.
Your,
well, thank
your
you.
typical network marketer, no offense to anybody,
Right.
but they're very,
We're
they're very
ex-network
amateur. They're
marketers.
very amateur in their approach. And amateur means you're selling product, you're in people's face, and you're very aggressive. And those are all things I did in the companies that I was involved with. So.
Well, I definitely did that in the beginning. I will say
Okay,
that. I will
so-
say
so
when
you
I.
are normal.
Oh, yeah, when I first started, for sure. I think it's just super easy when you get excited. It's just then you get excited and you like to over talk about it or over show it, and realizing in this day and age, like, that doesn't work. You can't just be like, oh, I sell this, cool, let's do it. Like, let's buy
Right.
it and stuff. You need to have that personal relationship. You gotta really learn other people first, and
Yeah.
Right.
it took a while to learn.
So I'm really curious about that because my experience
Yeah.
of you so far, like I haven't heard. So when we met you, I never even knew that you were doing network marketing. Like I couldn't tell off
Yeah.
that, right? I think people wear that on their sleeves when they first start off, and it's kind of like, hey, I'm in this thing. You should join me. You should buy this, and it's very common.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's the typically easiest, most common sense approach to take, right? So. Tell us about your journey,
Okay.
like starting off,
Yeah.
what you did, and then how you converted yourself. Rolling again. All right, so
Right.
we kind of had a little bit of a delay there. Our battery went out on our recorder. So
No worries.
Little amateur mistakes, but oh well,
It's okay.
So based on where we were talking, I think you were just getting started with your journey on your entrepreneurship journey. So
yeah.
Can you just take us from the top? You're talking about not culinary school, but
Yeah.
baking pastry. So
Do you want me to talk from the beginning of that?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
take us from the top.
So kind of, backtracking into my business story and how I got into this is 5 years ago, I was graduating from baking and pastry school. So that led me to Muskegon Baking and Pastry School, have my associates in that. And, super exciting, kind of a fun thing.
So wait, what got you into baking and pastries? Because it's a very fascinating field.
Yeah.
I always thought, what would it take for me to want to get into that?
I always just, would watch my mom and watch my Nana, like, cook in the kitchen. And ever since I was 12, I had made my own birthday cake every single year and then would make all of my family's birthday cakes. And it was kind of just like, this is something that I do all the time and love. So, of course, in high school, we had a career center, so I went there in the morning, like half of high school, and then would go on like the baking and pastry and like did competitions and stuff and loved it and had so much fun.
Nice.
And went to college for it and had so much fun again within that. And then I was at a place where I was starting to get like job lineups at some really awesome like bakeries and things like that, and was slowly turning them down and had really no reason as to why. like had no reason as to why, which is kind of interesting how things work out. You know, I think I was just realizing, one, I didn't want to wake up at 3 a.m. every day. That was a big thing.
Horrible.
There's a couple really like random
little
things.
Make or breaks like that you're like, I don't know if this career is for me.
Or my hair, I'd have to put my hair up every day, and if I take it down, it doesn't do anything. It like ruins it.
Isn't it funny how we think?
Like, at least, like, that's, I think, what I would say. It was kind of, well, I guess I wouldn't really say that because they seem to be silly things, but those were some of the things, like,
sorry, I
back
can't
in
take this job because my hair doesn't look good after I take it back down.
Yeah, it was just things like that. I worked in the restaurant industry at that time too, and I'm like, I always have to have my hair up. I never get to have my hair down and like actually like show off my hair and stuff too, and just little things like that. So in turn was, you know, turning job offers down and not understanding why. You know, I loved baking and pastry forever, always loved food, and was just wondering why I was feeling that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. You know, and realized, okay, there was something else that I probably am more passionate about and should be doing. So that was where I started coming to the free fit clubs. And, you know, we had those in Muskegon. They have, like, at that time, the one that I went to, there was 182 people there. And this gym, like, jam-packed, no room for anyone but
club.
Yep. And so we would just do like free workouts like that, and that was the first one I went to, and everyone was so energetic, so fun, so full of life, so inviting, and just really created an atmosphere of people who are wanting to become better, and in that place, like with health and fitness, wanting to become better. And I was like, these are so cool. Like, people are like really working towards goals outside of, you know, just like at that time I was in college, you know, and just kind of like, okay, I've got to go to college, have to get a job, have to just like, you know, there's things you have to do instead of, no, we have more choices in life than, you know, what's on paper and what other people tell us. So kind of was really cool to see that people were so passionate about, you know, just life, wanting to set goals and again, go for them. So that kind of was my starting place. And I was 20 at the time, or 19, 20, right around there. And was just like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. And just kind of slowly realized as I was graduating not high school, but graduating college, that, you know, I wasn't quite as passionate about, you know, some of the baking and pastry that I was doing. It was more of a hobby and something I still love. I'll do wedding cakes every once in a while.
Jeez.
Yeah. So like that's been
Your
fun,
hair up.
but yeah, I do. But you know, it's not something that I do every single day, which I'm okay with too, you know, but so that's kind of what started it.
Do you feel like part of like the baking and pastry with you being intrigued by it was like giving people something? Or
I'm
like,
definitely, this comes from my family. I'm definitely like a food giver. I'd like to say my family's a food pusher. And that's just like my family's very Polish. I don't know if it comes from the Polish side or where it comes from.
I would think so, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely like my dad's side, which is the Polish side. And, you know, we're definitely like big food pushers. And I think that was where like, you know, food was just part of life. And
it's a big part of the Polish community.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, we all have to eat,
Yeah.
you know, at that
Yeah.
point too. So I've always been a food lover, always been a foodie, just love trying food. And then realizing too, okay, my family isn't quite, you know, the most health conscious. Most of them are decently overweight. So also me having a bakery in the family, does that really help, you know, what we've created as a family?
Right.
And so those were some of the things that I kind of picked up along the way. Other reasons as to what I was realizing maybe why it wasn't for me. And then kind of got into the whole health and nutrition, so exactly the opposite spectrum. But again, still with food and, you know, really wanting to show people that you can eat what you love. You can still like enjoy your life. You don't need to, you know, have this like strict schedule of like, okay, I have to have chicken and broccoli and that's it. And I can't have, you know, like, you know, be more creative with it, you know, or people think they can't have a burrito, where like you guys show that you can have a burrito and still create a healthy lifestyle. But you know, so
I'm surprised you never got into like, you know, healthy vegan baking options or things like that.
a little bit, but you know, yeah, I don't know why I didn't. I think it was more of like in school too. It was just more of the traditional when it comes to the traditional recipes of like breads and stuff, but also realizing that, you know, you can have those things and you can have those kind of things in your life. And if you want to go and have dessert, that's okay too. But then just learning how to create a lifestyle. So you're not having it every day, you know, you're not having a piece of pie every day, but but like, you know, I think when you come to family gatherings or when I do, there's going to be desserts and like all these foods, and I want to be able to enjoy it and feel good about myself too with it, and still be able to, you know, enjoy that. So kind of creating that lifestyle with it. But
Smart. When did you learn that? Like, when did you learn that coming from a food pusher family, and then being able to create a healthy lifestyle and be like, well, I still can indulge here, and then not being too hard on yourself? Like, how did you find that balance or realize that?
It took time, for sure. It wasn't like one that I just like picked up. It was one that, you know, when I first started like wanting to be healthier, I thought that you had to have like work out every day or had to do 2-a-day workouts, and you needed to like, you know, be so strict in yourself, like count your calories, weigh your food, like all those things. So when I first started, I had a scale and I'd weigh my food.
I have not heard that.
You know, to like be consistent, like, okay, 4 ounces of meat or 6 ounces or whatever.
Crazy.
And
you're a disciplined eater now.
Not like that. I mean, it's more of like, okay, I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry, like eat when I feel like I need to, stop when I'm full.
Do you ever just stuff your face?
But I mean, yes. I think we all have those, definitely like, and I love my French fries, love my tacos and stuff like
I
that
like that
too.
you admit that, because most girls are like, no.
Yeah.
They're like closet eaters.
No, but you know, definitely trying to be more intentional with, okay, like I'm full, it's probably good, like, or I'm hungry, I should probably eat, instead of like, you know, needing to be on this strict schedule. So I've done it where I've done the, again, 2-a-day workouts, strict schedule of eating, and realized, okay, that's not a lifestyle.
No.
You know, it just consumes you. Yeah.
Get in your
at least for me.
head. And then you start getting too hard on yourself. So I'm like, how did you realize not to be too hard on yourself? Because you're like, well, if I do, we were just talking to a girl about this the other day. If I do this, then, you know, I have to eat by 12. And then you're so mentally unhealthy by that point that you might as well just be fat.
Yeah. I mean, it's just tough. Yeah. If you're like creating that strict.
I think I ruined a family, my ex's family, back in the day.
Ruined a family?
I think I ruined them. Well, when we broke up, the stepmother was like, she can now eat cookies, chocolate chip cookies. I saw that on a Facebook post. I was like,
Oh, no.
I ruined them. Poor girl.
Yeah, because you get into it and you don't know when to stop. Because you're educating yourself along the way, too. And the only way to educate yourself with food is to, like, do it. And so you're just like, oh, wow, that was too much.
Yeah. Or you think, like, okay, I'm, like, eating healthier. I only can eat things that are, like, classified as healthy and, like, have all the nutrients that I need, where it's like, you know, no, we can all, I think, enjoy life. And again, if we want to go out to eat and have French fries, that's one of my favorite things. And one of my like indulgent foods, or, you know, like things that I just love are French fries and
I
ranch.
had a French fries phrase after, because it's like, well, what else do you go to eat when you're trying to be healthy?
You're like, it's better than a burger.
It's like the healthy fast food. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But
so I love that.
I went through that phase for probably 3-4 years, and I was like, I can't even do French fries. So sad.
too many. Do you ever take your Wendy's and then dip them in your Frosty?
Oh, I did all the time. Oh, yeah. That was like, I think in high school. You know, I remember, chocolate Frosty had to be chocolate.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy's still kills it.
Yep.
And it was like,
Wendy's or McDonald's?
Really?
What
No,
was
like,
it?
which
What
one?
did you-
Oh, I guess high school, McDonald's breakfast sandwiches.
ooh, I did
That was
those
always,
too.
high school. That was like my everyday thing.
McMuffin?
The McDonald's.
I would do, the McMuffin or the McGriddle. I like sweet and salty, so I like that one because it's kind of sweeter.
Yeah.
You know what got me? I used to get them in griddles because I was like, oh, these are delicious. But then I noticed they would never go bad if you left it out.
Well, yeah.
That's
yeah,
gross.
seriously. And then when you leave it out for a long time, sorry McDonald's, the meat would get rubbery. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't really eat meat as much anymore. Typically, just after realizing what was I putting into my body back then.
This is weird.
Are you vegan? I thought you.
No,
kinda,
I'm like,
sorta.
I'd say like I'm 95% vegetarian.
Yeah.
I don't like make meat at home or cook it or anything, but it's like if I'm at a family gathering, I'll eat.
Right.
My whole family is all meat, potato.
Oh yeah.
Vegetarian's not a question. My family still thinks you're vegetarian, you can eat chicken.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a common
I
thing.
think old school people don't get it.
Yeah,
They just don't
don't.
understand
They
why.
just don't.
No.
Yeah, so I still eat it when I go home and stuff, but I just find that I typically feel better
Yeah.
when I eat more,
I like
not
I
meat.
like how you say that, because I think a lot of people are starting to understand that balance, because I've spoken now to probably 5 or 6 people in the last 2 weeks, and that's more than I've talked to, where they say, I'm mostly vegetarian, but I'll allot some time for meat. and that's how I am, you know. But you're fully vegan, and that's great.
I would eat meat if it didn't make me feel gross though.
You
like
budge,
I
you
would
do-
like to eat meat.
Right, you do budge sometimes, but I do know the feeling. I mean, I enjoy meat, and I actually feel fine. And I think I justify it because it gives me strength. But then I'll go for like the healthy meats, like grass-fed, wild caught, you know, free range type stuff.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
But if I eat the lower quality, like processed stuff, that I can feel that in my body.
Oh
which is
yeah.
weird. So I notice more people are like having that balance nowadays. You know?
I wish like the brain fog is there. I don't know about you, but if you eat a lot of red meat, like your mind slows down. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I notice. Like I notice when I fast or go vegan that I'm like more uppity.
Oh,
Or
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
or shakes or like a tea, like your tea with green tea powder in it, like that kind of stuff versus coffee even was like a huge difference of how you feel on your feet. Later.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one when I would have like a, you know, bunch of meat in a meal and stuff too, you know, would just want to go take a nap after.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. And so I realized, you know, I don't have that anymore. I mean, I haven't napped in like months, and,
Really?
you know, yeah, which is great.
I love
You know.
He's
Okay,
a
I
nap
like,
king.
I like, you know, like a 15 to 20 minute power nap.
Yeah.
I'll try, you know, I like those when I feel like I need to be rejuvenated and, you know, I
Yeah.
drank enough, ate enough that day, and it's just, you know, had enough tea and stuff, and my body is just like, well, no, you need just a little bit more like
Rest.
rejuvenation. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But,
I think we just don't sleep enough.
No. 4 hours of sleep for this whole week. I feel great.
oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys are working hard.
So
are you.
we grind.
Yeah.
Grinding. So you were at
Love
this
it.
thing in the gym and somebody came up and was like, hey, you should try the business. And you're like, heck no.
Yeah, it was actually a close friend of mine, and he was like, you should do the business of it. And I'm like, well, no, I don't like sell shakes, you know. And that was just my mentality, is like, no, I'm like in baking and pastry, I'm in the restaurant, like I don't want to be
do
some,
that.
I don't know. And I didn't know about network marketing at the time. I had like never heard of it. I just didn't know, you know, there wasn't anyone in my high school or anything that did it. There wasn't anyone that I knew in college that did it besides like, you know, my friend, and I still didn't even really know
Where are
what
you
he
from
did.
again?
I went to high school and like, well, I guess first grade through high school in Saginaw.
Saginaw. Okay. Okay.
Yep. So like about 2 hours from here.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, that my first perception, I was just like, I don't even know what it is for that. You know, I just know that like the shakes make me feel good. Like I, you know, lost weight on spring break. I had like brought my shakes with me to spring break, my
wow.
first week of having them, and lost weight on spring break, which college spring
Yeah,
break,
how do you do
that
that?
doesn't, that's
College
not
spring
something
break.
you would
You're normally
expect.
putting on 10, 15 pounds.
Were you
Exactly.
disciplined about it? I mean, were you still drinking and like eating and all
I
that?
think I added in like one shake a day, and was just being more like just knowledgeable about like what I was eating. So instead of eating fast food, I think I just had a shake and had some tea and like had my multivitamins and just, but otherwise no, I still drank and stuff on spring break and still, you know, ate my grandparents' cooking, which was
Push.
cheese balls and
Right. It's probably
snacks,
really
you
good,
know,
though.
but I think it was just mainly like the fast food and stuff that I just kind of swapped for something healthier and realized, wow, this is great. I don't need to, you know, also be so, focused on like, okay, have to eat completely healthy every single second of the day.
Right.
Yeah, that gets
You know, just like
tedious.
starting anywhere is great.
Right.
It's working your
And
way
so-
in. So did you struggle with a certain meal of the day? Were you like, oh, I could use these shakes because I struggle with a certain meal? Or you just were sold to the fact that it was going to help you be healthier altogether?
I had just tried my first one and was like, this tastes great. This is awesome. This is convenient. You know, I tried making like shake smoothies at home, got like a powder from Walmart or Meijer, and then for one realized it wasn't even like what it was supposed to be. I was using it as a meal replacement and it was more for post-workout. And then I also didn't like the taste. I hated it. So I had to put like yogurt and fruit and like milk in it and all these things.
Oh,
and
geez.
the shakes that I make now, I just put water in it.
Yeah.
And normally cinnamon, because cinnamon's my favorite.
Oh, I love cinnamon.
But realized it was easy and I felt better, and you know, so that was kind of like my thing. And I was so, especially then when I was in baking and pastry, I definitely had a massive sweet tooth. So they were sweet and tasted sweet, so that was huge for me.
Right.
I'll
So-
be right back. I'm gonna take a bathroom break.
No
You guys can
problem.
continue.
So is when you started doing the shakes, you were just doing the because explain how that works, because you were explaining it to me a little bit. There's
Yeah.
the customer side, and then there's also the business side.
Yeah.
But then there's something like in between. Is that a thing? Like where you can kind of like test your waters with it?
Yeah, so we do, like when someone comes and they're like, okay, I want to get the shakes at home, you know, I show them all the different products. I show them my favorite, which is shakes and tea, and those are like our most common, you know, when it comes to the products. And then we have one when people are like, you know, after they get the products at home and they love them and they decide, okay, cool, I probably are going to do these for a while. Might as well save some money. So it's kind of like a preferred customer, you know, discount program and stuff, which is super cool. Yeah.
That's nice.
So, and that was what I was chatting with you about and stuff. Yeah.
So I'm like, how do we do this? Or like, how can we go about it? Because that is nice to have like the leeway. So
yeah.
What made you start saying like, okay, maybe... Like, what happened to your baking and pastry? You're just like, screw it? And then you were doing the shakes. You were in the restaurant industry. Were you bartending or serving? Or?
A little bit of everything. Yeah. I was at Red Robin, and so I was in the kitchen, and I did too. I was in the kitchen, so I like actually worked in the kitchen as like a line cook for 2 years, and that was like my first like job position when I came here, and then so in college, and then, you know, started serving, started like doing a little bit of restaurant managing, or like back of the house managing a little bit, front of the house managing, but like bartended for a couple months. So I definitely learned it all. And that was within all of it. So you know, even when I was done with college, I was still, you know, in the restaurant industry as I was building my business and being able to learn how to do them and how to, you know, eat better. Even when I was working in Red Robin, which again is all fry related, fries and burgers.
Good. Is that where you still go for your fries?
I don't anymore. No, not really. I think I've had them for too many years. I think I'm done with them. I went back like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago and was like, okay, you know, they're still great, but I had them for too many years.
It's too much in your face. So you were at Red Robin and you wanted to transition out. You're just sick of the industry?
Yeah, I loved it, and I still like serving. I think that was so much fun, but also realized that years down the road, I'm probably not going to want to be serving my whole life. You know, especially once I realized, okay, baking and pastry wasn't for me. Like I realized too, like me being a server in a restaurant, or like being a manager in a restaurant where they work 80 plus hours a week, you know, it wasn't something too that excited me. Like I knew how the managers like weren't, you know, had to give up which holidays they wanted to give up. And I, while serving, had to like choose which holidays I didn't want to go home for because I had to work for, or which birthdays I wanted to miss. And, you know, eventually just kind of took a toll because, you know, I'm like, I'm 2.5 hours away from my family. That's tough. And we're very family oriented, where it's like, you don't miss a birthday, you don't miss a family dinner. Like you just don't miss those kind of things, you know? So it was tough, you know, needing to miss those because I like had to work for someone else. So that was kind of where, okay, cool. Like my dad's owned his own business. A lot of my family owns their own business, and they can really create that lifestyle for themselves where they can be there for all of the family things they need to because they own their own business. And so I think that was too, some of the stuff in the back of my mind, like always grew up, like my family was very, you know, you own your own business. And that's just what you do. You're like, or you get a job, you know, work for someone else to be able to own your own business. And that's just kind of like what the plan should be. So that was always in my head.
Philosophy for the family.
It's very different.
Yeah, it was just
complete opposite.
Yeah, it was kind of something that my dad.
Is that typical in the Polish community, or is that more just your family?
Yeah, I don't know about the Polish community in general, you know, but I know with my family, like, you know, knowing like my uncles and stuff all have their own businesses, and my dad did, and like my uncles on like my mom's side do too, so it just kind of happened to be.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so cool.
Do you feel
like
any pressure to own the business or own a business after that, or were you just naturally inclined?
It was always something that I liked. Now, my dad like has his own business, and I told him from the beginning that wasn't something I was passionate about. He does Braille signs, so like hotel door signs. That's cool. That's like what he makes and stuff, and a bunch of other things. And I just said, it's just, you know, I tried it for one summer when I was in high school, tried cleaning signs, and I was like, nope, I need something that's more fast-paced. I can't sit at a desk ever and do anything all day long. So, but my brother, that's something he's passionate about, so perfect, you know.
That's awesome.
And he'll eventually take that over,
And your mom's in the same business, or she has her own?
She was a stay-at-home mom for years, and then now helps them in the business too as they're training up more managers. But yeah.
Let me ask you, because I always wonder this, because I come from entrepreneurial parents too, and I saw they didn't miss, you know, anything for me. But now being an entrepreneur, being in network marketing and here, and I say the same thing because in network marketing, I still miss stuff. I still missed out on birthdays, dinners in the beginning. Like, it took a minute. So do you feel like you had to sacrifice, this is really being honest, you know, like really sacrifice being away in the beginning, and so now you can attend those things at free will? Or was it always just like, I'm in network marketing so I can have my own schedule?
I definitely missed stuff in the beginning still. Especially because I was still in the restaurant industry too, so I was doing both. So I definitely, and in the very, very beginning, I was still in college. So it was like college full-time, like school full-time, and like network marketing on the side. So I definitely still missed things, but knew, okay, if I'm just intentional with it too, and like really work hard at it, and you know, if this is something I'm passionate about, I know down the road I'll be able to be there for everything.
Right.
You know, so now I'm kind of at a place where, like, of course I'm still trying to be intentional with things, because of course, you know, you can't spend every day not working your business too.
Right.
You know, so also choosing like what I can be home for, and it's more like discipline in that way, because then you're like, well, yeah, I can go home for everything, and then realize, but should I?
Right.
Because if I'm going home for everything and I'm never like, you know, working my business, but so it's definitely took a little bit to create that balance. But you know, now it's one where like if I need to go home for something, you know, someone's like family members in the hospital or something, I can go home like that day and
Be done.
make it work. Yeah. Where it wasn't always that way. You had to hope someone would take your shift, and most likely they didn't.
Right.
Because I was the one who picked up all the shifts, so
Nobody
else is a little lazy.
yeah. So I mean, it definitely took time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, now I definitely, like, my family knows what I do, and like my boyfriend too, like he, you know, really is like in tune with what I do and knows like, okay, I've got team calls and stuff, and you know, always explaining to like my family and stuff too that may not be in like the business with me and stuff, and understand all of it, but I'm sharing my goals with them and tell them like, okay, like I got a new client, like, and this is why I'm excited, because it's going to help me with this, and kind of sharing more of those kind of things. And like,
so does he get it more now, or was it hard for him to like understand what
my boyfriend, you mean? Yeah. Okay, we've been dating for almost a year now, but I've known him for like 3 years. Nice. So he's always known me when I was a part of, the network marketing already. Okay. So, and he's one too that's very like, you know, loves being busy when it comes to work things, and, you know, has like 3 different things that he does too. So we both, you know, are super busy with that, and both like motivate each other. Like, okay, cool. Like, how'd you do with your goals today that you set, like with the stock market, you know, because he does stocks and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, how'd you do? Like, was it good for you? Was it bad for you? You know, and like, always like, trader? What was that?
Is he a day trader?
A little bit, but more like a lot of them more long term.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's done it for a few years. I know a little bit of like the languaging and wording, and he's explained to me a little bit, but otherwise not enough for me to do it ever.
I wonder if he has any strategies he's developed.
He's super smart with it, but I have no idea when it comes to.
It'd be interesting to talk to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can definitely, you know, get you guys to chat about it.
Because I went 5 years into the trading game.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, that was an intense 5 years. Like,
yeah.
It was seriously. And then I didn't have the patience to write it out. I didn't like it. I was in front of a computer all the time, and I was like, I'm more of a people person, and then strategizing around that.
Yeah, well, and if you're day trading, I know that's like I think it's like 9:30 to 4 or something, and like you have to do it during that time frame or something, which isn't always practical for people too.
Right.
But he loves teaching people when it comes to like teaching them about the stocks and how to do it well. So I'll get you guys together.
Yeah, cool.
That's fun. It's cool to see that you can be in 2 different. I think so often people. Especially people that are dating, you're in different businesses, and then you don't know anything. Jancy will talk about some stuff sometimes, and I have no idea, like, whoop, over my head.
I'm smart.
Yeah, so much smarter. But he'll start talking, and then, like you said, you're like, I know some of the lingo, so it's kind of like learning a foreign language. Like, if you know the basic words, then at least you can ask, like, all right, how did you do, and check in. Yeah. And have that mutual respect, whereas sometimes people are just like, nope, I don't, like, I know a lot of married couples like, no, I don't know what he does. He just does this thing. And it's like, all right, you know, don't you want to support? And so that you guys do the goals are cool.
Yeah, and so like he'll come to events with me when I have my events and stuff for network marketing and stuff. So he'll come to those so he gets a little bit of a better understanding and sees why I'm excited about things and like knows a bunch of like the coaches that I have and like knows the clients that I have, and I'll bring him over and like they all meet him, like stuff like that. And so he understands it, not to the fullest extent, but enough so that he can be excited too when I'm like, I hit this goal that I was reaching for, and then he knows my excitement for it. Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. So what have you learned about, like, how has your approach changed? Because as we mentioned earlier, the amateur approach versus now, like, I think I would consider you a professional.
Thank you.
Yeah, like it's,
No, you're very good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Professional, I mean, like, you're very you're aware of all the dynamics going on within an introduction and then people and how to work with them, right? So they don't feel uncomfortable and you still can win them over. Because at the end of the day, it's still a business. And most people call it a scam, but it's not. Because, they've been around for how many years now? 30, 40?
40, yeah.
40 years. So, and Amway is a business that built Grand Rapids, but Grand Rapids shunned Amway.
Because some people don't do it the right way. They don't know how to approach it, and they think it's just, if you just sell like crazy or push it to people, they're going to buy it, which... Yeah, especially in this day and age, like people are so, I think, in tune to relationships,
right?
Especially with social media. Like people like will, love to use social media as a way to be able to buy things from. Like obviously we see all the ads and like know that those are working, but people still want to have that relationship aspect instead of just buying it from a random that they don't know and that, they'll never talk to. At least I think. But
right, absolutely. So you've been focused now on the relationship aspect.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, again, it was very like, oh, try my shakes, buy my shakes, like taking a picture of the canister, and realizing, okay, people don't get excited about
this
that.
thing right here is going to change your life.
Right. And I probably had that same post on Instagram if I go back through.
I know. Do you look at your Facebook memories ever and you're like,
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like posting pictures of like just the products where I'm like, that's not what people want. They wanted to hear testimonies of like why it worked for you, like see personal result stories and know that, okay, cool. Like if it worked for you and like you sharing your story, that it's going to work for them too.
So
but,
how big is your team?
I mean, it's kind of hard sometimes to judge it. Well, I guess not judge it, but count it all. But I've got like, I would say I've got like 30 coaches and stuff, like myself and stuff that are pretty decently consistent. And then a few more that are like in those learning stages of it. And then clients and stuff between all of them are a ton. And those are ones that we can't count, besides like our group chat. So like we use Telegram as like, our group chat and stuff too. So that way then like text messages aren't blowing up. That's nice. But we use Telegram to communicate. And we've got like a girls like accountability chat, for women's empowerment. And we've got like 189 girls in it just within like my group. Wow. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Organization.
I've learned and just learned that, like we can really use this as a space for good and space to empower people and, help people. And I find especially women feel more confident, which guys need that too. But, I find sometimes it's easier to personal relate with women just because of, just being able to personal relate with that.
Well,
but
women typically join network marketing companies in general. Like I think 86% of women.
Yeah.
Is that the stat? I'm probably
it's up to 87 and 64. I think.
Yeah, I think for us it's 70.
Okay.
Yeah, for us about 70% is women, which is really cool.
Yeah, and that's great. Like I mean, obviously, and you guys, not you guys, but women as a whole, they're more relationship oriented.
Yeah, and I think guys now are working. I think they just take it differently, like or their feeling of relationship is different than girls sometimes and stuff. But I think they're definitely still wanting that personal relationship too. And
I think we as women always want to find other women that are cool, and it's really hard to find that. And I think network marketing really gives you, if you have like that group chat and it's not overly annoying. Like I've been a part of stuff where it's like, come to this, come to that. It's like, does it look like I have time for this? Like, no, I don't. But if you can find that group of women that you can just communicate, and then you guys can use that, build together, and then go reach out to men, I think that's cool.
And then ours, like our, group chat and stuff that we do is more like focused on like, like someone normally always sends like a good morning text in there, and it's kind of like a good morning, like how's everyone's day going, and kind of more like okay, like some girls too don't have that support of like, again, like good people that are saying like good morning or something, or stuff like that. So, that's what we're really focusing on is like, okay, like how can we just be friends with everyone, even if we never meet them in person? That's okay, but still like having a place where they can feel a part of something, no matter where they live.
Yeah, that's awesome though. So I mean, and really, over the years, when I was in my 20s, I had no concept of relationship building, especially when I was in network marketing. And so for me, it was just sell. How hard can you close? What are the strategies? Where can you find people to close them? And it was just like I was pushing people away left and right. Whereas like now I realize people, you look for people that want to be a part of a community. Yeah. People that want to change their lifestyle, or there's different needs, right? And you kind of base your marketing around that. Yeah. And your messaging around that.
And I mean, that was something too that in the beginning I definitely broke relationships and broke friendships and stuff too, because I was pushing them or wanting to push them to do something that I was passionate about that maybe they weren't. So now too, it's a learning process of, okay, like we need to be in tune with your goals, but they're your goals. They're not my goals for you. They're your goals yourself, and then how can we work together to be able to reach those, whether that's in the business or not, great either way. But, definitely broke some relationships, and that was, again, part of the learning process, and, have been able to rekindle those relationships, which is great, but.
I think that's where a lot of people they go, you know what, I lost my friend, I lost my cousin's relationship or whatever it is, and they go, I'm jaded, I'm out, I don't want to do this is not a business, it's a scam, so on and so forth.
They're so afraid of what people think.
It really is. And I come from the perspective of business is business. Whether you're selling a shake, whether you're selling a burrito in our case, or whatever it is you're selling, because life is about selling. You're always selling something, whether it's yourself, the air you breathe, or whatever it is, honestly, and so I think I really love seeing that you're doing good work, professional work, in a field where most people fail.
Well, thank you. Again, a lot of trial and error, for being a part of it for so many years too. It's a lot of trial and error, and a lot of again, people not being a fan of what you're doing, and people on campus, when I first started, it was very much like, oh, well, she's doing this weird thing, and, it's illegal, or it's a whatever, and it's like,
big one.
Oh my gosh. It's like,
you're a drug
I'm just
dealer,
wanting to, I was the shake dealer on campus, and when I moved off campus, like, they would always know when I'd come on campus with my products and stuff, and they like, would stop letting me come to, like, certain areas of campus, because I wasn't allowed to be in those and like sell, and it was just more of people were just doing it, I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes it's just you're doing something maybe unconventional that's not traditional,
and
they just think it's wrong.
They can't wrap their head around it, because it's different.
Which of course mindsets have changed, and like some of those people now, they love the products and stuff too. So it's funny how that works. But I think now it's starting to warm up more to people, network marketing, just because people are realizing you can do so many more things with what you want to do in life too, or just more. It doesn't need to be the traditional 9-to-5 jobs. There's so many other things, like you guys have your burritos and everything, and you're able to do podcasts like with it, and show up to the community and really be involved with the community. I think that's so cool.
It is. It is fantastic.
You have quite the Instagram following with that. Like I imagine going to college and having all those relationships probably built a good foundation.
If you guys are wondering, what's your Instagram again, so they can find you?
Oh, it's Shannon Shabluk. So last name Shabluk. Most people spell it wrong. That's why I always spell it out.
Is it straight on? Okay.
Just that.
We'll put it in the bio.
Shabluk.
Okay.
Is that the Polish last name?
And a little bit of Irish, I think.
Right. Cool.
But you built quite the following, and to be able to. What I notice on Instagram is when you're in network marketing, having people not just the followers, but you also have engagement and likes on every one of your photos, which means your community is strong. So how do you feel like you bridge that? Like, obviously you went through some struggles, so I want you to tell us a struggle because I'm like, she's still perfect.
Tell us how you failed.
Like, you still sound great.
I like to put butterflies and rainbows on anything I feel like I talk about anyway, you know.
Positive is good.
Yeah, I feel like I tend to, and that's just more of like the pearl soft-sided, like, you know, personality that I think I have and stuff too. But
no, it's good.
yeah. But back to what you're saying about Instagram too. I mean, some of like my following and stuff is from like high school and college, but I'd say like when I first started, I was very like pushy with what I was doing, you know, just like always posting pictures about it, and not a way that was like me showing my lifestyle with it. It was just more like I'm selling this. So I definitely lost a lot of like following from high school and college. Okay. So I think most of my following now is more new that I'm meeting, you know, in the marketplace and stuff too, just because, you know, again, I learned through it or maybe failed through it, you know, to be able to learn and stuff and learn how to then post and do it in a way that's, you know, empowering to you and not just like, I'm selling something, yay, buy from me.
And it's aesthetically, like your feed is aesthetically pleasing, and I feel like you're pretty real. Like you post daily, you know, your stories.
Yeah. Maybe we should learn from you.
Yeah, just go to
Shannon's
Instagram.
You should join Shannon.
Seriously,
thank you.
No, serious. No, I've been out of network marketing for a year and a half after doing it for 7.
Yeah,
and she's good. I mean, you're good.
Thank you. And we came home. We don't tell anybody that. No, we came home and I was like, I'm gonna join network marketing again. I was like, I'm gonna join Shannon. I was like, I don't even know what it is. That's why, and I legit messaged her. I was like, what do we do? Like, if we want to use shakes or whatever.
And disclaimer, by the way, we're not promoting just network marketing. We're just discussing how professional you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And how this can be done in a professional way and actually have a living and career out of it. So.
Oh yeah.
Because you're full time now, so you really took that following that you have. You're building strong. And now you're full-time?
Yeah. What? So, which I absolutely love. And so I guess I've been full-time for about a year and a half now.
And full-time means this is what you do.
Yeah. So means, you know, I can create my own schedule.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't have a hidden job.
No. You know, but I was doing, again, the restaurant, you know, on the side and stuff for a few years. And that was just through the learning process, you know, just needing to be able to do both, to be able to, you know, create that consistent schedule. Because I found it was super easy once I was done with the restaurant and had no real schedule and could create my own. I didn't know how to. And it was very much like, oh, okay, I can sleep in every day if I want to. I don't have to, like, you know, if I'm at home just doing work from home, I don't have to ever shower, you know, or just things like that you're like, I don't need to leave the house.
Yeah.
And, you know, found that I'm one that, you know, likes to be high active too. So if I put myself in those environments where I'm just at home all the time, I tend to, you know, not get things done, or be more depressed. And so find that, okay, if I can have a consistent schedule, you know, or things where I'm just out and about too, that helps me. And then have my times planned where I'm at home getting things done.
Right.
You know, instead of more like, oh, I've got 5 days where I don't have anything planned. I can just be at home. Doesn't work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Procrastination.
don't shower, you don't.
Right.
That's what girls do when they.
Or I realize too, I don't eat, you know, and I'm like, even though that's something that I'm so passionate about, I'll be like, I'm at home. I'm just like not like even paying attention. That I'm just like, it's noon and I haven't eaten. I'm like, what? Oh yeah. But it's more like, I guess I like to eat. You know, smaller meals, and then more consistent. That's just what my body likes.
I think that's what everybody is supposed to do.
Yeah, kind of what I'm learning.
Healthily, I mean, not chips every 2 hours, but
yeah, we're snackers.
Yeah,
we're bad snackers.
Hence munchies.
Hence the word crunchy munchies.
I love the name. It fits.
Thanks.
Awesome. So what's your biggest struggle besides figuring out your schedule? Your biggest struggle with going full time in network marketing?
I'd say, you know, just finding the balance of it all and being able to be comfortable with people aren't going to like what you're doing, and that's okay. People are going to have their own perceptions, and that was tough for a while. You know, people that would just like, or send hateful comments and stuff, or say like you're doing this thing that's promoting horrible things and you're not one that likes other people. And I'm one that, you know, I like to be able to help other people and like nurture people.
What
and
horrible
so
things All
Okay,
right, so
back
we're
to where we were.
We're back.
I love it. We're talking so much.
I know, right?
That's good.
But I guess back to, I found this more in the beginning or like people would sometimes send messages where it was just like, oh, you're a part of a cult. You're, promoted, or you're just like wanting people to join this community and like do stuff that, I don't even know what the words were because I definitely like didn't hold on to them, and just, again, it was years ago when I first started, but people just weren't happy and felt like they needed to tell me why they weren't happy that I was a part of the community, which it's like, okay, if you're passionate about something, of course you should let someone do it,
Right.
but I mean, that was tough. And it was, I like, I'm definitely a people pleaser, like to be a people pleaser. And so it was really tough when it was like, well, people don't like what I'm doing.
Right.
And, or like friends that I thought were friends are like, oh, you're doing, this, pyramid scheme. Yeah, exactly. And it was just more of they weren't aware or, I guess weren't knowledgeable or educated on it is what I say more of. And like, some people have gone back and like apologized for what they've said and stuff too. But,
Oh wow.
it definitely
'Cause
was.
they see you're actually succeeding now and pushing.
Or
through
see
the-
that I'm still going to do it no matter what they say.
Okay.
So I don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while I'll get something and I'm like, yo, I've been in this for 5 years. Like, I'm, love you,
Yeah.
but what you have to say to me, we don't know each other. Like, you're not going to change how I feel about what I do. And
Right.
I feel I'm helping people and I know I am, so that's why I do it. And if I, wasn't helping people, then I wouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because I used to have the notion I couldn't get over that back when I was involved. I'd get stuck on the people pleasing side. Like everybody's down on me and they're saying negative stuff.
Yep.
So how did you get past that in your head? What was the switch?
It was just knowing that like within this company and community that I could reach my goals that I wanted to be able to be home with my family and be able to, have more of a travel lifestyle because I love to travel and just have more of my own schedule. But also like I knew how I was helping people because I could see the testimonies, like people, like when people share like those messages and they like, cry to you because they, lost their first 5 pounds and they haven't been able to do it and they've been trying for months and that, they're doing it for a few weeks and they're like, I feel good, and now, we're really big on like promoting, like how people talk to each other. So when it comes to like, love doing like mirror work and, doing like IMs and stuff like that. And so really teaching women that aren't confident with themselves and feel like they need other people's approval for things, but then realizing, no, like I am beautiful, I am confident, like I am worthy and like wanting to teach people that. And so see how they grow through that. And that was something that I didn't always know much about in the beginning, but more like what I do now and, realize that, how we talk to ourselves too is a big reflection on how we do life.
Wow.
And so
That's a
realizing,
big one.
realizing, that we're able to help people in so much more ways than just eating healthier. It's like your mindset becoming better and like, your mind. So now I'm like, I definitely know what I've been able to do for other people and like how we've been able to, and what it's changed me and how I've been able to grow. So I definitely would not have grown in these ways without this community, and realize, So I think it was just, again, over time. And in the beginning, I just knew like all the stories and there was people that I knew that were very successful in it. And I'm like, I know I have that capability. I'm not going to let what you say affects me because at the end of the day, I'm the one living my life and
Right.
I'm the one that needs to pay my own bills and, do all those kind of things. And this is what I love. And,
Yeah. Did your parents kind of give you or instill that into your being as you're being raised, or like having your own like creating your own self-esteem? I don't believe in self-esteem. I think, you dictate how you feel, right? So, but the way that you were brought up seems like you were able to dictate how to get past those people's opinions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that came specifically from my parents and stuff, some of that. And I think it was just something I learned along the way, but they definitely, helped us to, really want to do what we want to do. And some of that, of course, like they had a little bit of the mentality of, okay, you had to go to college and had to do this. So like we worked through that once it was time where I didn't want to go for 4 full years of college. But it was one too, it's like at the end of the day, they want us to be happy, all of us and stuff too. And, so I think I got a little bit from them and a lot was just learning and through the community, them, grooming us and like, being able to, read personal development books, which, okay, I'm not quite a reader. So it takes me like months to be able to read a book, but also realizing, okay, like there's ways to be able to grow yourself. And in turn, it just helps you in life more. So again, it's all, you know, it was the learning process with that. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with your business now and what you're doing, or maybe new things coming?
I mean, definitely see myself having way more fun. I mean, I have fun every day now, but it's like, okay, cool. How can I just create life to be even more fun, which is, you know, what I'm doing. And, you know, always see myself as a traveler. So know I'll be able to travel even more when it comes to 5 years down the road, you know,
That's awesome.
Really trying to take now to be able to build my business and stuff too. And, you know.
And you can see them moving forward, obviously, with where you're at.
Yeah. And so, and like even just the past couple years, like last year, I figured out I went on 16 flights, you know, so, and when I was in college in the restaurant industry, that was definitely not an option.
Right.
You know, I'm able to go on all my family trips and do all those things and do my own trips. And, you know, we have like team trips that we can qualify for too, you know, so
That's awesome.
definitely know that, you know, make it a fun goal to add an extra one on every year, add more on.
That's awesome though.
But yeah, so I definitely see myself just enjoying more of life too, and just being able to find more of what I'm passionate on. Getting more in tune of like, okay, hobbies that I used to have as kids or when I was a kid and stuff, like how can I get back into those things? You know, got so much into like a work, school environment that I'm like, no, if I, you know, love singing and dancing, I should get back into that. And, you know, I got my knitting needles and yarn so I can knit again.
Wow.
That I'm realizing may not have the patience for that at all.
That's
so
but I tried.
But you're more of a people person. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
more of a, I'd say high energy.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, you have an exciting endeavor coming up.
Yeah.
And you will have your own
Nice
brick
business
and
move.
mortar. That's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
I'm very
awesome.
excited. So kind of postpone some of my trips the beginning of this year
Right.
because that'll come very soon. And, you know, I'll announce it once it's official and everything's signed and stuff. But yeah, so that's
Legit.
something I'm so excited for.
Awesome. Well,
So excited.
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Definitely applaud that. It's a
Thank
huge
you.
feat to be able to like push forward in that way. You know?
Yeah.
Especially at 24.
Yeah, and maybe this will work for another podcast or something, but, you know, I've done one before and it didn't work. So that would be one of the things I could definitely talk about the struggles of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, took myself a little bit of time to be able to feel comfortable again and being able to be like, no, I'm comfortable. I can own my own business. I can do it by myself. And, you know, I know what I'm capable of. And I know that it's just going to help, you know, meet even more people and just be able to help more people at the end of the day.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would love to hear
But-
that story.
Yeah.
We will wrap it up with this couple questions for you.
Yeah.
What impact do you see yourself having in your life with those around you or your community?
Like I have in other people.
Yeah, like if you die tomorrow, God forbid, but if you die tomorrow,
Yeah.
what impact do you wish to leave on people?
I feel like I, you know, give a lot of energy and light and, you know, just really bring other like life to people and stuff. And I'm one that's always smiling and always, you know, want to try to find the good out of things. So I think that would be something that, you know, I would leave, you know, that impression on people is that, you know, one that, you know, even though, you know, struggled through, you know, many different things, just tried to find the good of it, you know, and try to show other people like, you know, everything that you struggle through is like all there for a reason, even though if you don't see it while you're in it, because you most likely don't see it while you're in it. But
Right.
once you're past it, you realize, okay, I needed to go through that for a reason. And now I'm glad I did. And I'm happy I did because, you know, it taught me to be better, you know, but yeah, so I would say just bring more light and life to people.
Awesome. Yeah.
Bubbliness.
Awesome.
You're
Yeah,
very
I
bubbly.
can-
I love it.
Just a little. I don't know how to be serious sometimes.
It's a good thing.
And then what one lesson would you give anybody in life as a piece of philosophy to take that can help them?
Ooh, you know, just finding the things that make you feel fulfilled, put you on that path of finding your purpose and letting you be happy. You know, we all get one life and it's decently short. You know, when we think about it, time goes by fast. It's like, how can you make it be one that, you know, again, if you died tomorrow, like that you're happy with, you know, maybe like how you treated people, you're happy with, you know, the impact you created in the community that was one of good and not of bad. So I guess that would be
That's great.
That's great.
advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Really good advice.
something I'm always thinking about to myself and
Yeah.
how can I make a better, you know, impact on people too, So they see it as one of positive and.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you're doing that already.
I was just gonna say, I think you're doing it. I think you're doing it on the
Thank
path.
you.
You're well on the path there. So
Thank you.
awesome. I think that is all for what we have today. Do you have any more?
No, I'm excited. Hopefully we can have you
Yeah.
back on if you're open to it.
Of course. This
Yeah.
is so much fun. Thank
She was
you
already
again
saying
for
that from the beginning.
Yeah, that would be really cool to hear,
Yeah.
especially once you can announce everything.
Oh yeah, I'm excited
Cool.
for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you
But-
for coming. Appreciate
thank
you guys
you.
watching.
Shannon.
If you guys have any questions for Shannon or want to reach out to Shannon, you can find her on her Instagram, which is Shannon
Shabluk.
Shabluk.
Yeah.
And how do you spell that again?
SHABLUK.
BLUK.
Yep.
So go ahead and find her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Message her if you have any questions about what she's doing. She's awesome.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you guys.
Until next time.